minute.
Hello, am I audible now?
Yes, now audible.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for confirming. Let me share my screen. So, how many of you were there in the yesterday session?
I was there.
Yeah. So yesterday, end of the session, I shared you some Google Forms. Did you get a chance to go through that? How many of you submitted that?
Yeah, I did. This is Charul.
Okay, you didn't submit it, right?
I did. I did submit
Okay.
all
Okay.
three.
How did you felt? Like you felt confident the concept which you and the concepts which you learned?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Fine. So anyone else taken up that test?
Not yet. I will do it today.
Okay. Yeah. What about others? Fine. So assignments you try to complete on the same day so that in that way you will be if you're like if you're facing any challenges. Okay. So at that time, like you can do let me know so we can discuss on that immediately. So that will be good for us. Okay. So let us start today. What I'll try to do is I'll try to complete these models also. So I'll try to share you that particular forms and then we'll try to solve it together. Okay. Yeah. So, yesterday, if I wanted to give the overview, we were talking about the different types of the AI services. We discussed about the computer vision services, NLP services, and document intelligence services, means data extraction services basically. And then we started into discussing about the Gen AI. So, as part of the Gen AI, we are first starting with the machine learning, then we will jump into the LLM model. Like as part of the Gen AI, so LLM is the kind of a large language models majorly we'll be using. So we'll just try to discuss more about like how exactly what are the different parameters, how to create a LLM models are like example open AI. If I wanted to use how exactly we can create that, we'll discuss. So before we'll start, like we'll try to understand what is machine learning. So what are the different types of the machine learning models are there, so based on what business scenario we have to apply a specific ML model, and how to design a ML model by using the Azure Designer Studio. Okay, these are the agenda for today. Okay, so if you have any queries or anything before I wanted to start, like you can, I'll just pause for uh, 30 seconds so you can just let me know.
Can I access the curriculum anywhere? That what all you will be covering in 40 hours?
Yeah, sure. I'll be sharing this. I think I have it, but in that I that I discussed in the first session also. So I have to add few topics that I wanted to cover. So I'll just try to update and share it to you today. Okay.
Okay, and will you be covering playwright in depth or it's just
Yes.
like
Yes. Playwright also it's been covered. Like quickly, if I wanted to go through that, like I have it. Yeah. So it's like so here only, so once we're done with this basic LLM models and different services type creation, so then we are going into the Python with Playwright. Okay, so as part of that Playwright, so we are going to cover some basics to advanced concepts which you can try to work with the advanced tool also. Okay, means I'm not going to be in depth with all the each and means I'll try to cover maximum concepts, and also I'll try to give you the notes. Okay, so which you can try to practice more on that, because if you just listen with the class, it will be not possible to get everything. Okay, so similar concepts which I am covering, on top of that I'll be giving the assignment, so you have to work on that. Okay, if you face any difficulty, we'll discuss on that. And apart from so this is like a high level uh, the content, so I'll be sharing with you by adding few more concepts to this. Okay.
thank you. And can I speak to you after the class?
Yeah, we'll connect tomorrow because I have a few more calls scheduled today, so we'll connect tomorrow. Okay,
Yeah,
tomorrow
definitely.
at
I
the
just
same
wanted to
time, similar
see
time.
if I
Yeah,
need separate
like if
playwright
you
class
have
or not.
anyone, okay, so like if anyone is having any kind of a concerns, or if you wanted to connect, so tomorrow evening I'll be available between 8 to 9, so you can text me at that time, so I'll give a call to you. Okay.
Do you have your number posted somewhere?
Uh, Probably we can ask. We can connect with the same link itself. Okay, if
All right.
required. Yeah,
Yes, thank you.
Do we have a
fine.
class
Okay.
tomorrow?
No, I'm not going to take any regular sessions, but if you have any queries or anything, so you can feel free to join at the same time. Okay.
Sure. And when will get a schedule when all days
Sorry,
given to
sorry.
us?
Your voice is too low.
When are we going to get a schedule of classes?
From Monday, we are going to start the regular sessions.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Actually, this is also I'm just started with the curriculum only. Okay. Since yesterday, what I'm covering, so that's part of the regular sessions only, which I started because first session I had covered like what exactly we're doing and everything. So I just kick started with the basic concepts. Okay. Yeah.
Hi,
Fine.
sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt. I just
Hmm,
have a question.
hmm.
You said you'll be giving some assignments, right? So, are there
Hmm.
any prerequisites or something like
No, no, no.
certain
Which are all
install?
I am covering as part of the sessions. Okay. So that on that same topic only I'll be giving you just for the knowledge check. Okay. And
Okay,
see,
okay,
as these are the theoretical concepts that I had covered. Okay. So as part
okay,
of that, I'll be giving you in the form of a Microsoft form quiz. Okay. Once I
okay,
start with the lab activities, what I'm going to give you, I'll be doing one flow, basic flow. So how you can do with the other flow? Okay, so I can just ask you to work on that particular different flows with the regular sessions what we are giving, just to make you to get an exposure for that particular tool and think out of the box how exactly you can apply that knowledge in when you are doing the hands on.
okay. What I exactly wanted to know is, do we need to install anything like Python
So that and all
or?
I'll be taking it as part of the sessions, you no need to worry. Okay.
Okay, okay, okay,
Yeah.
fine.
So
Thank you.
even all the configurations, because even Azure also, I'll be giving you the steps how to set up your free account and all. So you can
Okay,
go ahead with that.
okay. So we need not worry about that right now, right?
No, no, no.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So Monday I'll be giving you the Azure. If anyone of you have the free account, that's very good. Okay. If anyone don't have that particular Azure free account, so end of the session I'll be giving you a quite overview how exactly you can do configure the Azure for your end. Okay. So that you can go ahead. Like as I told, still if you are facing a difficulty, okay, then tomorrow session when you connect, I can brief you on that. Or else we can connect on Monday, right? So I can guide you on that. Okay. Yes. Fine. So now we'll just try to get into the topic. So as part of that, like here, we started with the discussing about the types of the machine learning. So as part of the machine learning, so we have a supervised machine learning and unsupervised machine learning. So as part of the supervised machine learning, we have regression and classification. And in the classification, we have binary and the multi-class classification and the clustering. So in the yesterday session, we discussed about the regression. Okay, so when we say the regression, even we discussed about the so what are the whenever we will be expecting the outcome of the particular model prediction as in the form of a numerics. So then usually we'll go with the regression model. Okay, so when we are doing with the regression model, we had even taken a business scenario. So like example, when we take a one of the testing scenario. Okay, so like example, if I'm working with the testing, so how exactly I can apply this particular knowledge when it's like a defect prediction. Okay, so we can take the defect prediction model, which is going to help us with the uh, like when we are trying to predict the defect out of the like example, I'm going to I had executed the particular test cases. Okay, so at that time, sorry, the new latest code I got it. Okay, based on that I need to expect the number of defects in that particular code. Okay, once the developer deployed a particular changes into the specific environment, so during that time, as I told, the kind of number of defects means it's a numeric. So we can apply any one of the regression model. In the regression means we will be having a different models in the regression means in the backend they'll be using different algorithms to get the prediction in the form of a numeric. Okay, so because of this only, as we are using different algorithms when we are trying to train a model, the outcome also different. So based on the outcome, the metrics that we'll be using for the validation also different. Okay, this we'll talk, okay, in the coming sessions in detail. Then, so by using these parameters, we can try to find out the defect prediction model. Then we were discussing about the classification. So in the classification, we discussed the first one, the binary classification. So as part of the binary classification, so when we say, like example, whenever I'll be having certain types of the like kind of a outcome in the form of a so let's assume I'm predicting a I had trained a model. So if that particular model outcome is in the form of a binary value, like either it will be in the form of a true, false, or positive, negative. Okay, like that. At that time, we call that model as a binary classification. Okay, means we can apply the binary classifications algorithms which can give us the outcome in this form. So if we take one of the business scenario, okay, example, I had executed the automation script. Once the outcome we had received, it can predict whether it is the actual defect or it's a automation script issue. Like it can just say, if it is a defect, it can say yes. If not, say no. Okay, false. It's not a automation. It's not a defect. Okay. See, in the same way, means here there's no explanation. The model says yes or no, true or false. That's it. So positive means it's a defect. Negative means it's not a defect. It's not a functional defect. It's a, in that case, we should go and we should fix our scripts. Okay. So till now, everyone clear, I hope. Okay. We discussed till this yesterday. Correct? Yes. Now I'm going with the new concept, that is the multi-class classification model. So as part of the multi-class classification model, so we will be having a like kind of whenever we get an outcome, we are going to predict what are the different possibilities that we can get it. Okay. Example, there are some certain species in the of the penguins which are present. Okay. I have to predict which type that particular penguin is based on the physical measurement. Like here, when the output is coming, it is going to say, okay, different options, like either it's like Adeli or Gento or Chinsta. Okay, anyone it has to predict and say that. Like example, I am just trying to predict the type of a movie. So based I had given a certain director is present. This is the director. So XYZ director directed this particular movie, and so XYZ hero acted, and the story written by this particular story writer. So like when I provide these particular details, it should able to give me the prediction of which type of a movie it belongs, like whether it is a comedy zone, horror zone, like that. It has to tell. Means in the multi-class classification, the outcome should be predicted in the form of different options, okay, on a certain parameters, like multiple possible classes of the outcome we'll be getting based on the given input. So example, if we take the automation, okay, see, we had discussed the kind of a after the automation execution, whether the outcome is like true or false, means defect or not. Okay, that is one possibility. Another possibility is, so to predict the automation execution outcome. So whenever I am trying to execute, means whenever I give the execution details, automation execution details, whenever it gets failed, you should be able to predict a different types of the um, exceptions that had been got when executing, and what is the final outcome, why exactly that model is failed. So here basically we can store the different types of the failures in the automation. Okay, so out of 10 different types of a failures, like certain times a timeout issue, okay, like certain times the locator not able to locate, okay, certain times the network issue, okay. So there are like a different types of the issues that we'll be facing it, okay, like different types of the exceptions we'll be receiving it. So if we can store the different types of the exceptions as an option, so it can, based on the input data that we had provided, it can predict the what type of a what exactly caused this failure as such. Okay, so in that way, in a given labels, like a given exception type, it will try to predict what exactly caused this time the execution failure. Okay, so this is going to help us to like see, basically we can go and view the report and getting the same thing. Okay, so if at all, if I wanted to consolidate all the bugs, expected exceptions, and view it, so at that time this is going to help us. Okay, this is just an example. Okay, are you clear till now? Yes. So now there is another type of a uh, model, so which we call it as a cluster. Okay, unsupervised machine learning. Okay, so when we say the unsupervised machine learning, one thing we have to remember is, see, basically here, when we are talking about the supervised model, either it will be numeric or the binary or the multi-class classification. We will be having, okay, this might be the outcome. Okay, so this way my outcome can come. But when we say the clustering, okay, so it's like whenever we are trying to do, it's basically we are not able to predict it. What it is going to do is, it will be trying to map the common features in the given, okay, in a given objects. Like example, I'm comparing a certain objects. It will try to match the common features in the given object, and it will try to predict the outcome. Okay, like example, I'm so here you can see the image. When I show you, you will be more clear about that. Sorry. Yeah, so here if you can see, in the clustering there are different flowers are there. What it is going to do is, it's going to group our different flowers based on the petals, okay, that it is going to have petal patterns and number of petals it is having. It has grouped into different groups. Okay, so in this way, when we are doing the clustering, so based on kind of a whatever the expectation that we are having, okay, whatever the input data that we are giving, see here also definitely input is required. Based on that input, it will try to search the similar data, and it can try to group it, and it can give it to us. The best example that I can give for the clustering is, let's assume you're going to search in the YouTube, you're going to search a particular movie. Okay, like example, you're going to search one of the actor movie. So after you provided that data, that is an input. Okay, you will be getting a recommendation on the similar actor, which are all the different types of the movies that he had been present. Okay, so like it has grouped that all the movies of that particular actor. Okay, means here based on a certain characteristics, the response that you are going to get will be moved, and it will be given to you in the form of an outcome. Okay, like example, if I'm searching a Kantara movie, okay, after that it will recommend me. Okay, so you can go and watch the Kantara one also. If a Kantara one I am watching, so I'll get a automatic recommendation. Okay, you can go and watch the Kantara movie. Okay, so here like it's going to do the similarity search. Based on that, we'll be getting a outcome. Is it clear? Yeah. These are some of the examples. Okay, like Netflix and Amazon, how they work. Okay, basically here they'll be doing both supervised and unsupervised models together, and they'll be using for kind of a uh, to pull the audience. Like example, so it's going to do as part of the unsupervised learning. Let's assume it is going to do the collaborative filtering, means suggest items based on a user patterns and similarity. Like if you search for a one particular product, on the similar basis, you will start getting more items. So in the same way, when we say unsupervised learning, so it uses explicit preferences. Like, see, basically 5-star ratings, which are all given, it will try to give me only the 5-star ratings. Okay. And with the purchase history or watch time. So I have a like kind of, I'm going to search. Okay. I want the products based on the 5-star rating. I want the product based on the kind of a more watch time. Okay. Like that. When we provide the explicit entry, so at that time, based on the content, it will be doing the filtering. Certain times it will try to give the suggestions based on the unsupervised learning model, like wherein they'll be using a collaborative filtering to suggest the similar type of items in that particular category. So you got some understanding?
Yes.
Yeah. So now we'll just try to see from the Azure how exactly we can try to play with the uh, these particular models, how exactly we can try to apply it. Okay. Did I not deleted this resource? Think I forgot to delete these services today. So I have this service, okay, let it be there. So if I wanted to create a, as I already told, ML models, so I need to create the first Azure Foundry. So I'm going here, I'm going to create a new workspace. So first I should have a resource group. So ML Foundry, new I am creating. Okay. Accordingly, all the basic data is updated. So I'm going to click on the create new. So now let's try to create this one. Okay, so it's this resource is deploying it, and overall wants to create these services for them. By the time it deploys, I can give you some idea. What, see, for this first you should have a Microsoft account. So as you can convert whatever you are having as your email ID, so you can convert that into your Microsoft account. So once you convert that into Microsoft account, you have to log into the portal.azure.com. Okay, I'll be sharing you the steps also. Okay, so once you log into the portal.azure.com, so it is going to ask you with the sign in process. Okay, you provide your basic details. So with that basic details, okay, so you can just go here as a create one, sign in with a different account. Like you can provide your any one of the email ID. So once you provide your account, so it will ask you means what exactly you're working and organization's name, like that basic details. You can provide that basic details. So after that, you will be getting into this particular window. See, once you get into the portal.azure.com, still you are not able to create any kind of a resources. Okay, if you have to create a resources, first you should have a subscription. So for that reason, you just go here to the subscriptions. Okay, so if you go here to the subscription, there are different types of the subscriptions are available. Click on the add subscription. It will give you the different types of the subscriptions that you can try to enable it. Okay, so here basically at the beginning you will be having a free subscriptions. Okay, so at that time you try to activate the free subscription which you will be you wanted to get it. So if the free subscription is not enabled, then only you can go ahead with the pay as you go. So when you go with the pay as you go, you provide the debit card or the credit card details. It will be having a auto debit option. So as I told yesterday, to avoid the billing, as soon as we create a resources, we have to delete them immediately so that we can avoid the billing also. But if you want after avoiding the billing, like example, still you forgot something, okay, you don't want it to auto debit enable, so you can go to the debit card or the credit card you provided. So from their settings you can disable the auto debit, so at that time, so you can still access this particular account. So without your knowledge, the amount will also be not debited. Okay, so with that, I'll be sharing you the document on the configuration steps. So you can go ahead with that steps. And if you are facing any difficulty or any challenges, so as I told already, we can connect back tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. So now my service has been created, Azure Machine Learning. Okay. So here what exactly we have to do is the Azure Machine Learning. We should go to the Designer Studio. So let us go to the, so there is two ways that we can create our Azure machine learning ML apps. So one is the notebooks, one is the automated ML, one is the designer flow. Okay, so we will be using the designer flow. So before that, okay, I am going to create a machine learning, but that machine learning, to whenever I create that configurations, to run that I have to require a system. Okay, so that like kind of a compute environment that I want. How I can get that compute environment? So I have to create a compute environment here itself. See, to create the compute environment, so there are different options that Azure provides. Like we can go to the compute instances, compute clusters, Kubernetes clusters, okay, attached components or serverless instances we can go. So these are the different options that Azure is going to provide. Okay, for us, like if I want the compute instances clusters, so I can go ahead with that, or I can go with the compute instances only. Actually right now I want the compute clusters, so I'm going to create it. Okay, so here I can choose the location. Okay, there are certain locations which it will be not available, so I'll go with the default option. Like if I can go all the things as default at this moment. Okay, and so I have to click on the next button here. Here I need to provide the compute instance name, and I need to choose the minimum number of nodes that I wanted to that I require. Okay, so what I can go is demo instances, and I can just name it I want the, okay, so I can just go with the charges when no jobs are running. I wanted to run a job, so I just try to provide it one cluster, and I'll try to create my instance. See, this is going to create my demo instances where I can run my the jobs of the machine learning studio. Means for the training process and all, I can try to utilize these particular instances which had been created. Okay. So till now, are you good? So do you have any other queries?
Just one question.
Mm.
Will we be
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
hands-on with you, or
No,
we have to do it
tomorrow
after
you
the
can,
class?
next Monday when we'll be connecting, you can go ahead with the hands-on because most of you might have not configured this pipeline, right? So I'll be giving the steps also. You can do on your own also, or else you can try to do it in the next session with me also. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Fine. So here I had provided the detailed steps. Okay, how to start with that. Okay, so you can go ahead with that. Okay. First one, if I wanted to go to the designer, I have to go to the new pipeline creation. Okay, where I can build my classic pre-built components. Okay, so let me go to that particular window. Okay, see, this is an instance which it will be creating. Okay, as of now, I can go to the designer studio. So here what I can do as part of designer, I have to go to the new pipeline using the pre-built. So to start with the machine learning, what is the primary requisite? Means the primary prerequisite that I require. What is exactly? What is the primary thing that I require to start with the ML modeling, machine learning model? Anyone? Like let's assume you wanted to build a identification model, so which can identify the number of defects. So if you wanted to start with this model, what is the first thing you should be ready with?
Data?
Exactly. Like, see, first you should have the you should have a historic data. So without data, how you can start anything? That too we discussed, like if I wanted to start with the ML, at least minimal 1,000 records we should require to have the accurate prediction. Correct? So here in the Azure machine learning model, what exactly the good thing is, we will be having certain stored data. Like example, if you wanted to train your own custom model, definitely you should come up with the source data. But right now we are doing it for the demo purpose. Like I can try to use the data sample data which it is present over here. Okay. So here you can see there are different types of the data which it is available for us to do the train the model. So what I wanted to do is I'll try to get this data, adult census income binary classification. This is the one. So if I'm, see here, the good thing is in the designer studio, so it will be having a data, you can connect the steps together. You can try to drag and you can connect the steps together. Okay. Means you are trying to pull the adult census income binary classification data. If you wanted to check how this data looks like, okay, there is an option called preview. Hope you are able to see. Yeah. So here I got it. If you click on this, there is an option called preview data. Okay, I have to click on that. So once I click on that, I'll get into that particular data. So enlarge this. Here you can see. So here I have around, it is saying as 15 columns. Okay. And I have records. Okay. Means which is considered as the rows. Around 32,561 rows are present. 15 columns are present. Okay. So this is the data that I am having for training my model. So here you can see, so we have age, work class, okay, education, uh, number and material state, marital status and relationship, race. There are a lot of columns which we are having. Okay, fine. So we are ready with the data right now. So next, what is the step that we can do based on our discussion till now? So once you select which model that you have to choose. So after that, what exactly we should do is certain times, okay, we have to do the data cleaning. Okay. So before, basically data cleaning means, as we already discussed, there might be some missing data or there might be some duplicate records, okay, wherein I can try to extract, means I can try to exclude that kind of a rows, because that is going to have a more probabilistic reduction of, I mean, the prediction model prediction will be reduced because of that. Okay, to avoid that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the data cleaning. Okay, but before data cleaning, see, there might be n number of data, but for my model I may not require all the columns data. Okay, so I require only the specific columns which I want. So I have to choose that columns which I require. Like example, let us choose age, work class, education, occupation, sex, race, capital gain, capital loss, and hours per week. These are the components. Let us try to choose as part of our prediction. So what I should search is, I should search as the select column in the data set. Just drag it. See, if it has to work in a coordination, both has to be connected. So I'll try to say here, and I should click on this column. And so here I can choose. So I can keep adding the components: age, work class, and education. I wanted to add the marital status, and occupation is very important, and then relationship, capital gain, and then I have to add the capital loss and hours per week. Okay. So let us try to save this. Now error gone. So now what is the next step that we have to do?
Modeling.
Data cleaning we have to do. So I have to do the missing data. I have to clean it. Okay. So as part of that, I have to call this. So what exactly it's going to do if I submit, see here what exactly we had did it. We had taken the data. We had selected the, which are all the columns I wanted to do the filtering. Then we try to clean the missing data, which it is there. Okay. So as part of the missing data which I am having, so here I need to check how to handle the missing data. See here, if you can see, so as part of the data, the cleanup process, it's asking me, okay, which are all the columns that I wanted to clean it up. Okay. So I need to specify which are all the major columns which are going to have the scope in my production. Only that columns I can specify. In that column, if any duplicate records are there, okay, in that particular data format, if any missing is there, like example, in the work class, there is one or two rows are missing. Okay, so at that time I have to remove that particular entire record itself. Okay, because again it's going to cause a data mess. So with that, I am going to say work class and the occupation. Okay. So with this, I am going to save it. Okay. So once we're done with the data cleanup process, next step is we can try to run it at this time only with the cluster that we had been created, or else. Okay. So I'll just, today I'll try to run it and show you how it is going to work. Means See, why we have to configure and run the job means we have to make sure it's working as expected. Okay, let me go back. See, for as soon as we done, basically you can just see here, it is as we enable the autosave here, it's saving automatically my changes. Okay. Now, once we done any steps, okay, I wanted to check so whether it is these processes happening or not. Then what I can do is I can set up a pipeline job. So to set up a pipeline job, basically I want a compute system. Means I want the one system. So in that way, virtual machine I had created by using here compute cluster. So here, if you have the see, either if I have not created here manually, I could go ahead here and I can create also. Okay, but as I'm already created, it will usually take some time. So we can create initially only. So now I wanted to create a new pipeline. Okay, so I can just set it as a AI ML demo pipeline. This is my name of the pipeline. Display name also I'll say the same thing. Then once it is run, I should go to the inputs. Okay, then runtime. See here, as I told already, runtime I should have a cluster. So here I am going to choose. See, it's the instance, demo instance, which I already created. You remember, right? I created from here. So that is the one. Okay, after I choose, see, I want the data store also. As part of the data store, I had created the workspace blob store here. Okay, so once it is done, I can go to the last step. You just have to click by using the mouse. So you have to submit it. See here, what exactly this pipeline is going to do is it will try to do actually these functions. See, right now, whatever I have done is I just try to drag the components into the workspace. But where where exactly you can find this pipeline? So basically, you can click on this. If not, you can go to these jobs. Here, your pipelines will be running. So you can go ahead here and check your pipeline run. See, it's running the. See, this step is being completed. Now it is running. It will trying to select the components. Again, I am telling you, see, you no need to be expertise in this. Okay, so what exactly you should be doing just to get an idea for you, what are the different stages, how what happens in each stage. So I'm demonstrating. If you try to get a hands-on once this lab activity, it's great. If not, you just understand the process, so it will be good. It's still running. So here you can see it's been completed. Okay, now we can try to check what it has happened. So we can just go here, and if you can see, so this is our arguments, and we can see it's still running status. I think it has to refresh. Yeah, so it's been completed. So as part of the parameters, it's try to upload the columns that we want. If I wanted to take the logs and view, we can see. So these are the metrics and all. It won't. It is not applicable over here. So here, this task also run, and what are all the missing data is present. So that's been done, and it has used the instance, okay, which we had created demo instance. So in the demo instances, these jobs has been running. Okay. Now what I wanted to do is, see, I'm good. Okay, this process is going as we expected. Now what I can do is, I can try to add the next steps that I wanted to do. So next step, what is the next step? Once we clean the data, so we have to train the model. Okay. So before we have to train the model, we have to split the data, right? So why we have to split the data? Basically, why we are going to split this data? Can anyone try? We discussed this.
Like testing and trying.
Sorry. Yes, come on. It's fine. You can just tell me what you understood based on that.
Usually 80% we go for training and remaining is
Yes,
testing.
exactly. So we are going to train that particular any model which we'll be using. So we are going to use 80% of the data for the testing and remaining training 80% data, and remaining we are going to do it for the testing purpose. So for that reason, I wanted to split. Okay, so I am going to use the split for that. So here what I have to do is, I had given the clean data set into the split data. So split data will divide, and I have to specify what percentage I wanted to split. Okay. So randomized split, I am going to enable it. I wanted 0.8% to retain here, and 0.8 and 0.2% it has to split. Okay. So here, once the split of the data is done, the next step is we have to train a model. So to train the model, we should know have to use certain models. Okay. So first I need to call this train model. So this is what, so this is the one which is going to use the train the model. But for training the model, so I have to give this columns which I had selected in that the data cleaned which I had been storing. So in that I need to split 80%. I have to submit this data, and I need to say which model I have to use. Means basically which algorithms it has to apply to train this particular model. So here I am going to use the logistic 2-class logistic regression. Okay. So I'll talk more about this particular model, how it works and all. So I'm going to map this. Okay. So once I train the model, okay, see, by using this regression model, it will try to apply the algorithms. Okay. It will try to based on the data that we had been created. So it will try that particular model it's going to train. Okay. So once the model is trained, so we have to get the score of the model. So, and then I have to evaluate it. Okay. Let's try to get it. Score. So here to get the score, I need to map this particular model. Then I have to evaluate. Okay. So here I need to call the evaluate. This is to the validation step it is going to do. Evaluation means with a scored model. Okay. So here, where exactly I'm going to use the testing data. So while scoring the model only, I have to call the testing data, and while evaluating, I'll be getting all the metrics. Okay. What I'm going to do is this data, split data, which it is there, I'm going to submit to the score model. Okay. So here, see here, basically when we say the two-class logistic regression model, I need to specify on basis of what I wanted to get the outcome. Okay. So here I wanted to get the predict the income. Okay. So once I provided all the appropriate details, okay, and if I had been specified the steps it has to perform, again I have to run the job. So here to run the job, okay, I have already created a workspace. Okay, AI ML demo pipeline. Okay, I'm going to use the same thing. So runtime environment, I can call my cluster that I had been created. So then I can try to submit it. So once I submit, it will start running the job. So actually, basically, whenever I'm running newly, it will create a new job instance. Okay, so if you can go to the jobs. Okay, as I created the same instances. Yeah, so if you go to workspace, jobs, you can see a new pipeline which it is running. See, basically new pipeline means it is going to perform the actions that I had specified when I am designing the model. Okay. So it takes couple of time, okay, to run the model and get the outcome. Okay. So I'll just stop it here. If you have any questions, do let me know.
Here we have to test the data, right? Like after
Yes.
completion of.
Yes. Here the testing also required. So we'll talk about the testing, how we have to apply, okay,
Okay.
the model testing. Okay, so by the time it will run, okay, we'll just wait till it is going to complete. It may take around 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, I think few of the things that I have not discussed with you. Okay, so this is about the machine learning models. I had given the detailed steps and the examples. Uh, okay, so here I have few questionnaires also. Okay, um, let us go through that.
We will get this document in PPT.
Yes, yes, I'll be sharing you that. Probably this we'll try to do it in the next session. Okay, I'll try to explain this and I'll give you this assignment so you will be more clear rather than I randomly go here, because we have not speak much about the data labels and all, right? So let me go in an order. Okay, so
Yeah.
this is an explanation that I had provided. So how machine learning is going to work, why we have to use, what are the advantages of it, each component I had explained you, so you can go through this. Okay. So you can see here, we can see the failure. Okay. So why it got failed is a exception message, execution failed, user process, Azure ML, EVS, Azure ML. Okay. So there might be some issue with the configurations of the pipeline. Because of that, facing a failure. Okay. Fine. As I told, I'll stop it here. We'll see. If everything is good, everything is working fine, so that execution goes smooth. If you had done any mistakes, okay, while configuring the pipeline or submitting the data, defining the parameters, okay, we'll be getting the exceptions when we are running a pipeline. So I'll stop it here. Tomorrow we'll see how exactly the major components we'll try to discuss in this model. And also we'll see how once this particular model is deployed, how exactly we can try to call that endpoint from the portal. Okay. Yeah. Fine. So we'll connect on Monday session. So by then, if you have any queries or anything, feel free to connect tomorrow's session so we can connect and discuss. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.